number one guy's current win rate is like 93% or so.
93%.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yes, it is impressive, considering one of the categories of
That's just impressive in many games that will rate that high.
the reality of my categorization system is that most players usually fit into 2 or 3 of the categories, and one of the hardest categories to play against, I call the guesser. And when I say guesser, I don't mean just like wild guessing. I mean this person has high value guesses that he's not at all hesitant to throw out in a lot of situations. And the reality of that is that for most people who play like that, because I don't think it's a great style, but the reality is that if you're playing that way and you're good at playing that way, you will have a reasonable win rate against everybody, no matter how good they are. So if I'm playing against them, like there will be matches, even if I'm winning like 2 out of 3 against them, every third game they will hit like the absolute most ridiculous read and slaughter me on it, and then the game is over because of it. And we're talking, and my project is to try to reduce any game losses to the players who are rated lower than me.
Good luck. I think that's.
The combo?
I think. Well, I don't know. What?
I'll combo.
How much time do you think it takes that person to like educate themselves to the point where they are creating, able to like manufacture those high value?
I think that they usually just do it. I think that they get into a situation where it's like a 50-50, and they say 50-50 this way, I destroy you. 50-50 this way, I destroy you. And when they're right, and obviously there's a read component to it as well. But assume that I'm aware of the choices I'm making, and I'm mixing up about as well as guessing, which is not always the case, but just for the sake.
I'm not even assuming it's you. I'm just assuming it's 2 random players. I'm just wondering, like.
I was saying, like, for the assume that I'm mixing up as well as I can mix up, and they're mixing up as well as they can mix up. And even so, like the way I play, if I'm categorizing myself in my system, one of the big things I would say is I'm a reactor. I want to see something happen before I do something, so I will never be a guesser. When a situation comes up, I want to put myself in a position where I can see what you're going to do next and react to it. And the reality of that is that, on the whole, I will get more connections, but the value of each of them will be less. Because the one that I'm categorizing as a guesser, this is the guy who's like...
Oh, my hand slipped off the
like
fucking
a wake-up DP and function sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a high value choice. You know,
No! You did not do that!
Low risk, high reward scenario.
I would say at least medium risk. I'm not going to say necessarily high risk, high reward, but I'll just say like...
Yeah, I think it would vary, right?
Do not turn off clinical flash price.
Do not turn it off?
Do not turn it off.
Alright, well you better play it then.
Would you...
Yeah, but I'm playing this. I can't play both.
Is it worth eliminating...
I know you're already thinking about turning it off.
High value, like... Or... Is it worth eliminating that value from the risk in order to define the high value choice? Like, do we need one to get the other, or is one sufficient to define in your system?
Well, there's a lot of things that are high reward for no risk. I mean, if you just, if I see that my opponent's whipping moves left and right, then I will set myself up to get the maximum value punish.
How did your universal overhead went over my medium?
That's just the way it works.
That's kind of an unforced error, where you're seeing an opportunity to take advantage. You know,
Exactly.
like, you don't have to make the guess anymore. They're giving you the only information you need. So for you as a reactor,
say
you're
like,
happy, right?
compare this to like, if I'm playing Akuma versus Urian, for example, and I know that he likes to press buttons on wake up. I might, on his wake up, do the meaty, back up, crouch medium punch, and I might be able to confirm that into a medium amount of reward, like a super or something. But say I'm playing against a Urian or a Hugo in a situation, and I notice that we're doing like a wake up grab, not a crouch attack, but a wake up. Give you a hug, grab, and if I'm playing Akuma and I wanted to punish that as hard as possible, I could, on your wake up, do neutral jump air tatsu, jump air tatsu again, DP, maybe even super, and now I've done like, instead of getting like 30%, now now I've got
Yeah.
60% off of that. But they're like, if I'm wrong in that read and you just sit there blocking and now I'm jumping, spinning in the air, I'm gonna eat shit because you're gonna. So this is what I'm talking about with the guesser. They're not afraid to
Eat shit.
They're not afraid to eat shit. And these, I also think about it in terms of like, what does this person say to me after the game? And I noticed that the people I categorize as guessers, they are the most likely ones to say, "You got so lucky in that game, dude." And I'm like, because that's how you look at everything as a gamble. I see it in your play.
No, I mean that's actually a very good psychological read.
You want to get in here?
Yeah,
I need you to beat me, Mark.
No problem.
Alright.
Most people project the shit
I want to
out
play
of
Twinkle
everything.
Star Sprites.
Like, if they're telling you about yourself, especially someone who knows what about you? Nothing. Like, yeah, of course they do. But it's still a good, important lesson for classifying people. You can probably work on a system of classification just based upon how they respond to you after the game and see how that informs your.
Well, there's
research.
There's another category of player different from runaway. I call it the harasser. This is the person who.
This guy. This guy right here.
No.
You?
Yeah, it's not a super great style. No, I'm not a harasser. I would actually call myself a. I would call myself runaway. I would say that I'm more runaway. I'm closer to like a Justin Wong kind of.
You're like harassive aggressive.
Well, yeah, that's what I consider like the Justin Wong. It's like it's not just getting hit by you. It's creating this whirlwind that is impossible. It's like an
You're
obstacle
forcing
course.
people to make choices,
It's
right?
an obstacle.
You find a way to force people to make choices.
Yes.
And then you set the boundaries, like you.
Make it a problem for you to solve.
Yeah, you create a
I
problem.
don't need to solve the problem.
You solve this problem. Solve the problem. You've already solved the problem, and then your problem, whatever problem you're presenting, has an end to it. It's not an infinite loop. Like you're gonna keep doing this thing until this other thing happens, and eventually the thing will happen. So you're gonna do your thing where you push them in the corner and deal damage until they die.
The harasser is the person that Jordan hates most in Street Fighter Online. It's the person who literally is running away, jumping in the corner, super jumping out of the corner, not doing anything, and then when you're like come on, you're getting like bored, you're like, come on, I'm just want to chase you, so they're like dashing them down. Then they go for like, now I'm gonna random DP, or now I'm gonna do this, and
Dash up
and all they want to do, they have no idea how to play neutral. All they want to do is catch you trying to rush at them. And these are the people who we were talking about. What do people say after the match? When I take these players extremely slow and just walk them down, after the match they'll say, "You're so passive, dude. You never approach." Like, you create a world that is very dangerous for me to come at you very quickly. So you're different from a runaway player. A runaway player, you have to find your way through. With you, not you. The harasser, I have to stay close.
You almost unblocked yourself by doing that.
Different. I consider that different from the one runaway player who is.
Is there something I can do, like?
To hit them. This person is.
Well, that's just block them.
I don't know that I think.
No, I'm saying, I'm talking totally different.
That's a matter of.
If you like witch throw, and I back medium punch,
just maneuvering
or like back medium kick,
in such a
can I
way
super?
where
You know?
you're always one step ahead of your.
That card can super out back medium
and
punch.
use the space.
Okay.
You
I'll
understand
try
that
that.
the
It's a
punch
cancel.
running away
It's a
and
cancel, so you do it fast.
where they're at.
Yeah, I'll have to not do
very well.
light spin punch,
They try
because
to,
then that doesn't
and they
count.
try to
I just gotta do
put
super.
You can do regular medium punch too. You never use medium
I
punch.
know.
But you don't.
Well, it goes over you when you crouch.
So they're creating that problem first. And then they have an answer.
I use moves that don't
What
work on
happens
people when they
fall?
crouch.
That's kind of my
Take it over.
take on what a runaway player is versus someone who is trying to like maybe harass you or create that space where you feel uncomfortable. It's a level of like creating that discomfort so that it feels like a lot. How do we create discomfort in our opponents so that they're not playing?
And that, man, you can just, it's not on medium punch.
That feels like the.
No!
How does that person become uncomfortable? How do you make a runaway player uncomfortable? How do you make a harasser uncomfortable? How do you make, yourself, whatever classification, uncomfortable? Where is that person's, where aren't they?
Yes, exactly. Yes, sir. I don't. You know, when I look at these as well, it's like you say, they might match up differently too. Like a guesser is painful for me because I'm not willing to guess right back in their face. I'm still going to try to play. I want to keep them out, and I want to react to the choices that they've made. But they're usually making choices that are so like hard range oriented, and it can really catch me. So like even so, like if I'm doing well, then I might only get like 2 out of 3.
If it sounds like the people that give you the most trouble or fall in the most in this category, the ones who know how to maximize these proceedings to the nth degree.
And the ones who aren't, who are specifically like
Unafraid.
not worried.
Oh, you counterpicker.
Yeah, they're unafraid. They're like, this is what I came here to do.
Yeah, they're not playing. There is no percentage game here. This isn't like how do I win the most games over a long period of time. It's
I
maybe
do the most damage.
I can win this game if I do this.
And it might be that simple. It might be that they said, how do I win the most games in the most period of time? I do this thing because it does the most damage. So if I do this more times than I do anything else, I can always win.
I was talking to Jordan about all these people who it's very popular in Brawlhalla for people to when you're on the edge of the stage, they might just like try to jump off the ground behind you real quick to finish you off. Which is something that I would
Knock, knock. What's the password?
What's the password?
that's something that I would literally
No, okay.
Alright, our shoes, yes.
No, you bastard.
I'm gonna go outside.
Yeah, nice try.
Am I pushing it?
Hi guys, what's up?
Yo,
What's up?
This guy's parrying off.
I mean, what is he not parrying is the real question.
I know, I gotta win without doing moves.
Well, no wonder he just knows out.
He needed to get that smoke in. Well, what's up with you guys?
Not too much, man. Talking about my system of labeling and categorizing fighting game players in an attempt to increase my ladder win rate in Brawlhalla.
Oh, I see. So if you have like a visualization of what you're playing.
I want to identify and label them quickly so that I can switch myself into a mindset for what I'm supposed to be doing against them faster. And have like a set of things that I'm thinking about more quickly. Because at the moment, in that game, I think of it more implicitly where the game's going, I see what they're doing, I think about what they're doing, I try to counter what they're doing, but if I can categorize people more quickly and have like some ready options that I could adapt faster.
Yeah, so
With
like
the,
you have
with the
an
implicit stuff is still, it still comes over time.
Yeah. But you have like an idea of like how their
Option
style
select.
is, and then if they adapt, then
Give me
just
that.
adjust, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, makes sense.
Oh wait, there's another round. I won.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Come on, I need you to beat me, Mark.
You thought you lost that fast, man? That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense, Kevin.
Fucking
That's actually a good idea. It's just like, you're like, okay, I can just like focus on like
You are a
beating
bitch.
him how I normally would against this type of player. And then like, you know, like I said, if you adjust, then we adjust if he adjusts.
And part of it is trying not to give, it's not necessarily trying to think of styles of play that are all equally good. But one of the categories I created was masher.
Yeah.
So if you go,
Somebody just press buttons.
if this guy's just pressing buttons, so they're not all created equal. If anything, I could create a tier list of categories.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that. Like, especially
Oh,
if
you got a
it's, like,
super.
there's like a level where like they're not skilled enough.
Yeah.
There we go.
So it'll throw
Now
you
you're
off.
flared.
You think,
Oh, man.
better option.
There's also styles.
Flair would never do that.
There's like I would call one thing like lag tactics, where somebody is gonna whiff moves in
Alright,
front of
so
you.
we do that last part? Just do it every time, and you're good.
And then they're going to
Offer something behind it, right?
they're going to try to punish your failed attempt to punish them. So obviously this can be really good if somebody's failing to punish your whiff move all the time. Obviously it's not very good if you whiff a move and people are just punishing it straight up.
It's cold.
That's it. Which is
Yeah.
Much
a very common.
like the root beer I leave in my living room.
Well, I found it.
know you won't.
What is this game?
It's a cool game.
It's awesome. I'm trying to play it against you.
Yeah. It looks like a magical girl and a
It's a versus
oh, it's
swap.
this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to play this game. You sent me a video of this. You want to see it. Toho fighting.
Damn, I just fucking exploded.
Combo does like 100 damage.
Oh, that's a lot.
Oh, he's hockey. He looks like he's hockey.
NES race hockey.
Oh, shit.
It's a classic mobile one.
Mark,
It is.
I was
One
listening
thing I
to
like about the NES games and the NES sports games is that it's literally just called the name of the sport.
Yeah. This is the best hockey game ever made.
Wait.
Oh, okay, thanks.
To be fair, I can't say it's a that's a really nice novel.
I don't, you know. Please, you know, techno football. Pretty much. Like,
I was
high
just telling
watermark
you.
for sports games.
I did
I was
too.
telling Scott
Yeah.
about Techno Balls either.
Thanks for throwing me out of the corner, Jordan. I
I
need
love
that.
getting not. Well, not, I didn't want non-EX
It's like a
Tingus, so this
football,
fucking game
you know,
sucks.
patch,
Shit shouldn't be in the
there's
game.
hardly anything else to do.
Disable.
But
For real.
back it says Techno. I'm like, oh yeah, they made Techno. Duh.
Yeah, I deserve that.
Well, you did it.
There was
Thanks,
a,
Oro, for listening to us.
there was a really good baseball game. I can't remember what the
How many characters in this game?
So like me,
Supers that vary based on what button you
that
push.
like
You're in.
EX.
Nigel
You're in.
Mansell's racing.
What is it?
Nigel Mansell's racing. Is
Depending on which
race
button you
F1
push,
racing game.
determines which angle.
Oh, so Agnes, so Makoto. Did the shadows change?
Dudley's, it's different.
Did the Agent shadows change?
So it's a second one.
Oh, you know something funny?
Sean's basketball super.
Yeah, OP move. I found out a bunch of guys at my work actually like Street Fighter 6 a lot.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I know. But so they'll like bring it out and everything. I'm like, you know, I have to do it to y'all, right? Like, you can't just bring this in front of my face.
Yes, that's
Wonder's trying to be a harasser.
one of the fun experiences of being a fighting game player is when you go to a random person's house and they're like, "You wanna play Street Fighter 6 with me? I'm really good at Street Fighter 6." It's like, I'm about to ruin your night. Your whole image of yourself is gonna be blown.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bad.
That's only ever happened to me with Smash.
Yeah.
I feel like Smash is way more common, honestly.
That happened to me with Smash, and that happens commonly with Smash, and I'm not even good at Smash.
That's never happened to me with any. I suck at it. Okay,
That could happen.
that's a good point. Oh, come on, just
No, it's funny trying to teach himself, where it's like, what if there's a guy who like playing Kuma against Zangief and then he's like, oh my god, Zangief is so strong, I can't beat him.
They like not the best way.
They're just like really, they're like on the lower end, like they understand like special moves and shit, but I have to explain like what like plus frames are and like.
Right away.